Hi everyone. So today I have some complaints, and this is a letter to Rainbow Rell. Basically, a lot of the spells that she brought up in Carry On and Wayward Son, very clever. I like them. I'm a stan. Obviously, I want to be Baz Pitch. I mean, look at my fucking shirt. But that's not the point. Some of these spells seem a little outdated. So, I'm going to be categorizing some newfangled sayings with these spells and how they would work. This is also good if you're doing a Dungeons & Dragons campaign or something and you want some interesting spells to give your players. Because they are going to be, I hope, funny for you. I'm going to be categorizing them in two groups of daily life versus attack spells. So like, spells that you use in battle are usually different than what you use to clean your clothes. So for example, from the book, Clean as a Whistle cleans your clothes, like after a fight, or if you just don't want to bathe and you're nasty, Simon Snow. Or an attack spell would be, I can't think of an example. Everything is given power by how often it is said, and by that, memes should be spells in these books, and that is the answer. And I understand why she did it. Didn't want the book to be able to be dated, which I understand, but also I just think this is important. So first we have yeet/yote, depending on which you prefer, or wig. So both of these I think would mean pretty much the same thing in a spell context, you know. You throw something, as said by the verb, and it will go farther the louder you fucking scream it. Because if you're trying to be subtle, neither of these phrases work, you know. They rely on you being obnoxious. So I'm going to put that in a very useful attack scale. Useful attacks will go here. So next is Guess I'll Die. You know, like that one guy, Guess I'll Die. That's been around for a while, and I think this spell would be, since it has kind of an air of like, I don't know what's going on, I think this would be much of a spell to help you surrender in a fight, you know, get yourself out of a bad situation. Guess I'll Die, I think, depending on how it is used, it could give you a second wind of some kind, but it should focus on surrendering, will get you out of the situation, but you are not going to be winning the fight, you know, because you are surrendering. So I'll put that in the, it's useful, but not really, in a fight. Cursed/Cryptic is a new up-and-comer, I believe. It's very simple. Walk through the shadows, be a cursed image. I think this would be great in fights or in daily life, so I'm going to put it a little closer to the middle between this divide. The divide shall be this wrinkle. The only god I see up here is me, like that cat image. I very much like that image, because it has an air of superiority to it. You need confidence for this one too, I believe. Obviously levitation. Very simple. More confident you say it, maybe the higher you go, if you're trying to use this for a D&D spell. I don't know. I'm putting this in daily life just because I want to float, and honestly, it would be good in attack, so it's going, like, here. This is from a Walt Whitman poem that, I had to read in my English class, and we all have been quoting very heavily, and I'm sick of it. So, this is despite my English teacher. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Everyone in my class has been saying it's weed. I completely understand that that is not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be grass. But I'm saying, daily life spell, since we have said it so much in this class, gets you some dank weed. This is another up-and-comer, but I enjoy it very much. Cats can have a little salami as a treat. I do believe that this one should be in the daily life spell. And you're wondering, what would that do? You get salami, but only if a cat is near. So if you have a cat, I'm putting in the useful, because if you have a cat, free food. Destroy capitalism. I am a little creature, I cannot change this. I believe this would be a shrinking spell. Shrink an item, shrink yourself for a temporary amount of time. Very simple. I think it's very good. One I'm gonna put in the not so useful. It's an epic gamer moment. Just because of the context that it has been used in the recent years, I don't think it's gonna be as useful for its intended purpose. It's good ironically, it's not good like in practice, you know? I think it's gonna give you a low possibility of winning a video game, but only if you're eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew. This is two phrases together again, much like yeet and yote and wig. This one is head empty, no thoughts, and no brain cells, or some variation of such. Spells in Carry On are, you know, they're like, you need to say them correctly, but I feel like these would be more flexible spells. Simon Snow would be all like, head empty, no thoughts, brainwashing spells, obviously. This one is also an attack spell that I'm putting in the not as useful category with Guess I'll Die, only because I feel like it would be hard to pull off. I personally know I would not be able to pull off this spell, and based on Baz Pitch's fucking internet knowledge, he wouldn't either. So I'm putting it in the not as useful category, even though it would be a pretty powerful blow to an enemy. And this is for Rachel, you big fat, etc., etc. I'm putting it here only because of its difficulty, but if you can pull it off, it goes straight up to useful. You understand. You're cancelled. Only it's a powerful spell. It will eradicate your foe, but only if they're deemed problematic by Twitter. Fuck bitches, get money. A very interesting saying given to me by our good buddy Ashelza. I do believe that this would be useful, and the spell would, if you have fucked in the last week, you get $1. I'm just saying, destroy capitalism. So this was a hard category too. I decided to just lump 2 in here just because I'm realizing I'm having a lot of lumped 2 in here. But for daily life, I have No Cap and Did I Ask, which was given to me by my good friend Gypsy because she says it quite often. I'm gonna put this in daily life, but they are both simply truth spells. I feel like they're pretty useful, but I'm putting them towards the bottom, not up here or anything, because do we really want the truth? Ever? No. This one, I don't think is a well-known saying, and if it is, I am just illiterate. But it's interesting enough that I put it on here. I put a poll on my story. I don't know if anyone actually saw it, but where people submitted some of their own catchphrases. This one was just so powerful, it hit me. Like, it was like a gut punch. I live to spite God, but you are a close second. This one I'm putting in the attack spells, but since it's not said very much, I don't think it has as much power, but it's one of those confidence boosters, you know? While we're on that subject, I got another one that was very powerful, though I haven't heard anyone say it, but it is going in the useful section, just because of what it is. It's, I've seen the devil and she's proud of me. I like that so much, I'm putting in useful. It is a self-care spell! I think what this spell does is, whatever you need, an extra hour for a nap, to sleep in a little, anything that would spite God, but will make you happy, this spell will allow you to do it. Then Perish is a paralyzing spell, of course. Paralysis lasts longer depending on how you, say it, like how well it was used in a sentence. Consider the following. What the fuck? That is another good one, but I'm putting it in the not useful spells only because I think what it would do is, you know, when you're like thinking of something but you have a brain fart and you just, consider the following. What the fuck? Like you can't think of it and you're pissed off because you can't think of the word or whatever you're trying to do. You can use this spell, but it only has a low chance of actually bringing you the clarity you want. I think what is more likely is that you will just get more frustrated. I was gonna write off I'm Baby as not a useful spell, but it's been said so much, Lou had a good point, my partner, that it should have a powerful use because it has been said so much. I think I'm Baby, based on what they told me they interpreted it as, would be some kind of charming spell. You need to get out of a bad situation or you're late at work. No one can punish you because you are Baby. I am not looking, I cannot see. Feel like is also very powerful in how it is just said. So I think it's a blinding spell. So the last 2 spells I have are both very special. This one was also, I thought this was gonna be a not very useful daily life spell of just like to roast someone or like, oh, but you don't really need it to like get through life. You're not taking down capitalism, you're not killing someone, you know? It's not something cool like that. But Lou changed my mind. They wrote me this, and I will write their explanation of what they think the spell should do, and you will understand what I mean. Your Mom Gay causes whoever it is cast on to be put into emotional paralysis because they cannot come up with a better comeback than that. It does not work if their mother is in fact actually gay, and if no you is uttered before the spell takes full effect, it is reversed on the caster. Because no you is a powerful deflector spell that will send it back onto the caster, but only if you have managed to win a game of Uno. and their example of even using in the books, which was more powerful than what I had done with any of these. Baz could cast Your Mom Gay at anyone, and if they tried to cast No You and reflect it back onto him, it just wouldn't work, because he himself is gay. Powerful stuff. So I'm shoving that up here. This last spell, though, is my favorite. I'm putting this in the daily life spell, and I would put it in not useful, but I'm putting it, like, actually I'll put it up there. It's Fingers in His Ass, where basically all it does is bring Sans and Nagito Komaeda into your room and they beat the shit out of you. If you're really good at casting the spell, you know, Vriska shows up. But I'm putting this up here because I know some people would be into that. Yeah, so this is my formal note. If Rainbow Rowell does not comply with at least mentioning that memes can become spells through our new buddy Shepard, because he does know internet language, I will actually sue her. Because this is what we want to see. Thank you.